Still useless crap. Level 16 again, huh? There you go, buddy. Jesus. Not today. Later. Later for sure. There's so many high-level guys in there, except for scorpions. I ain't gonna fight that thing. Not right now. Mainly because I don't want to kill him. We already wasted a perfectly good berry. Though I'm not digging this purple. The colors they had from the first extinction event were really cool. They look good. They look realistic. Like, if I had to throw my theories out, I could see herbivores maybe being brightly colored, certain ones. Stag, trikes, those guys, like maybe the frills or the plates, having a lot of color. But I don't really see them going much crazier than that. And I don't see the predators doing bright colors. Period. Because if these are the ancestors of birds, and I think that's, well, that's pretty much without doubt on some of them. Some species. Yeah, no, they're gonna be camouflage kings. Because you're dealing with some of the best eyesight around. Or the ancestors of the best eyesight. Rex, your model's not coming in yet. There we go. feel like they did something weird to his snout. Well, shoot. We're gonna need Oviraptor eggs if we're gonna go after Super Megalosaurus over there. Which, we do have. I kind of wish I hadn't killed Megalania. We can always get another one of those bastards, though. They're not exactly high on my list. We've had good Megalania before. It's just, eh. I mean, I like him more than Thylacoleo. Just because he's a reptile and not a silly, dumbass marsupial. But, other than that, I wouldn't write home about him. There's a reason why it's okay to kill him. Otherwise, I'd have left like I did Megalosaur. Megalosaur being, trying to make him covered in feathers and nocturnal. I don't know why they did that. He's like Captain Generic of dinosaurs, basically. Like he doesn't have any cool markings like Allosaur. Or weird little eye crest things like him. He's just your standard three-fingered theropod type. Like him and Iguanodon, at least when I was a kid, were the two that were considered to be been first officially described. Which I'm beginning to realize now, what that really meant was that we count our paleontology from the English side, but like the French had like, I mean, I think Basilosaur was technically named before Megalosaur. That always shocked me. Well, I guess it's back to trying to pick one up in the air. I'm waiting to see some jackass attack the spike wall and see how that goes. I don't know what we're going to do with all this chitin. I just don't have a lot of uses for chitin. It's kind of the damn shame of the game. Like, hey, you know, it's nice, thanks. I don't need it. I don't know what I could use it for. Cementing paste. Yeah. Until you have a chemistry bench, that's not very practical. It's never been all that practical, honestly. Like, the recipe is abysmally terrible. Yeah, put the trophy on there. Grind up those. Look how we find all these Megalania and Titanoboas and we don't get any Titanoboa toxin. don't even know what we could do with this. Make super chitin armor. Let's just look up recipes that use chitin. Fortunately, there's not many. Tell you what, that's how I know the school system has failed when people can't pronounce something like kite. I don't get it. The only subject I actually enjoyed really was science. I didn't like history and government until college. Probably because by that point they're willing to take the gloves off a little bit more on it. But at least I was fortunate enough to go to a college where they were also willing to take the gloves off the politically correct side too. Like, they could talk about both sides in fairness. But that's not entirely true. There were still plenty of people with their agendas even then. Okay. So I need to go and I don't know where I could try next. Where could I try next? Just don't have a lot of options here. I'm really surprised the game has not sent a bunch of animals to go bumping up against my oh god, there they are. They're releasing a T-Rex. Watch this, like some high-level purple T-Rex just to make everybody mad. He didn't last long. Typical woman. Picking a fight she had no business fighting. Yeah, see, it's stuff like that why I crank up the meat. Can you believe that? Even. Eight-ton animal reduced down to a few stacks of meat. Bullshit. Yeah, I'm not digging the purple. I thought the red was more believable than the purple. I can buy the white. You can have your albinos and everything. Yeah, see, if I was going to TLC Rexy, I'd have given him a jaw grab. Oh, God in heaven. Really? Oh, God. Well, that place just became infinitely more unpleasant to be at. well, there's our defenders. They'll take care of them. I find, though, sometimes paleontologists kind of like... I wonder... Well, yeah, no, clearly the church was like that. The Catholic Church, at least. And that you know that they're just giving answers to keep everybody happy sometimes. I swear to God. Oh, yeah, they must have all been brightly colored. What? Well, yeah, birds are brightly colored. Birds fly. There's very few predators for birds. Other than other birds. Like, basically, you gotta be some guy that gets them as an egg or in their sleep, or be another bird or something that can fly. They can afford to be bright. But the ground-based ones aren't. Water-based ones aren't generally that bright. Even something that you would think is a disadvantage, like a seagull, it's not really much of a disadvantage. Like, you're on a mostly white background, or a lot of reflections, so white's not necessarily a bad color to have. Especially looking up from the water. I think the more interesting thing is the evolution of color in general for things that can't see. See, that's the one I could buy as a slow change over time. If you had a lot of offspring. Yeah, there's a lot of parts where a non-directed evolution doesn't work too good. If you know your genetics, the numbers game starts bouncing, starts tipping heavily in the other way. Like, in other words, certain things would have to really knock it out of the park, basically the minute they evolve, which is why I say, like, it'd have to be a really fast process for some things. Some things might be slow, but probably not, actually. Which would explain why you really don't see a slow change. Like we like to say, it's a, you know, it's more like looking at cars. Are you the female? I hope you are. Are we fighting? I'm sorry. Are you not dead yet? Damn, I grabbed the mail. This is not wise. I just realized it as I did it. Bingo. Ow. Don't black out, you twerp. I don't know how we're going to do this effectively. I'll be honest. Didn't really think too hard about this. Oh, that is base. I'm so mad. I think I grabbed the mail. Well, I'll chew him up and spit him out in a minute. If it's the dude, it won't take much to kill him. Pretty much a shotgun to the face. Creepy ass bug. A few insects I've ever stepped on. Well, I don't know what you call these guys. Arthropods? Arachnid? I think scorpion's their own thing, right? Land lobster? Still can't believe this is one of the first things that ever existed. Terrestrial side. Now think about that. This is one of the first things that ever walked on the face of the planet. This thing looks insanely complicated. Jeez. That trike took a hell of a beating there. Yeah, their follow-up attack is great. They have a real good, fast follow-up attack. How you doing, buddy? 182 torpor, that fast, wow. Thanks for being good sports about it, guys. Not murdering the living hell out of that thing when you had the chance. Because I know you did. I know you all did. Didn't think I was that heavy. Woo, that's gonna be a high level scorpion. Whatever that really means. Let's go get Sticky Moloch. No one likes interracial. Throw her over here so we can see their eggs better. Because these are the guys whose eggs we haven't got a ton of. I mean, the people whose eggs we got a lot. But the ones who we don't have many at all. Yeah, I think like when I started, you couldn't, none of the sea creatures were even able to be bred yet. I mean, none of them. I think maybe, no, I don't even think Nessie. Yeah, this'll help. So as for the fence there, the fence is an experiment right now. Just to see how this goes. Very much in its experimental phase, and it could fully change. We may end up having to put a back row in. I've been worried about stuff coming over the side, but I think we'll be okay. I think you have to have the damage on. I originally had it off because stupid shit would constantly fight near the tree base. And it got old and irritating. I thought they had 5-fingered hands. Pachycephalosaurs. Oh, wait. Yeah, they got the 5 fingers. Never mind. It's one of those weird little things I know. Where's that at? Who killed raptors? I guess the gates? That's what I thought. You know, like, I don't necessarily like the animals just rub up against the fence and keep fighting it then. But they're metal now, so I don't really care. The big thing was last time when we were out trying to survive out there, and we found that we really had to do the spike fence more. We had some animals coming over it. It's not doing as good a job as it should since there's no auto damage. And I don't know, I think at one point they removed it and then they brought it back. Because I know that they did it to us. Like initially, I think they did do damage and they removed the damage. Because I never turned the option off until later. Actually, I never turned the option off. I got the server. Then I had to go and turn it on. And it became annoying. Because I kept having animals fight near my tree base. Just against my fence. But I didn't feel like building all the way up around like we normally did in the past. On my previous 2 playthroughs. I'd always taken the upper tier of that, mainly just because I didn't want to build another big wall this time. It's just more work than it's worth. There's going to be one very high-ranked scorpion. That's all I will say. You can give me back my narcotics, by the way. Didn't even think you were about to take a bite. Lay eggs. We need T-Rexes. Where's he? Huh. Whatever. Give me a stack of that spoiled meat, will you? There, you can have that one. You can have that one. You guys should be good now. Although they will just eat the spoiled meat out of your troughs. It's kind of the advantage around us, they'll do that. I Can they breed? Oh, wouldn't that just be horrible? I know they lay eggs, but in the past they could not breed. I don't even want to raise a little bug. Not to mention, that's the one thing that you really shouldn't have to take care of too much. It's a damn bug. They come out, them and the reptiles, honestly, you know? There's not a baby version of them, really. They're just small. I guess that's true with the sharks, too. I guess for bigger sharks, they work their way up, but for the most part, those guys come out as they are. Just small. Everything already pre-built in them. My point earlier, though, on the whole evolutionary thing was that it's like looking like cars in the sense of it occurs, yes, obviously, I'm not debating that or anything. I'm just saying that you can look at, like, I don't know, a Camaro, right? I'm not a car guy, but you can look at a Camaro, and a Camaro from nowadays to whenever the hell the line came out, 50s or 60s. And you can see some similarities, but not too many. Except for when they, like, actually try to make them look like the original ones, or the most popular versions. And it's kind of like that, is what you really notice. Like, you can look at a T-Rex and go, or a Raptor, and say, yep, I can see how you get a bird out of that. And at the same time, you really can't. Like, you see it in his legs. Because there's not many bipedal things out there. And that's what I mean by sometimes paleontologists are like the church in the sense of they give out these cutesy answers, you know. And I think they always do want to kind of have this, I don't know what they necessarily do, but science shows seem to have this always spiking the ball in the past, be it the church or previous scientists, and it really makes them come off as like petty assholes. Like if it's noteworthy, but I'll give you a great example. Like I said, go watch on YouTube the Paleo World episode on Carnotaurus. Before they discovered Giganotosaur. That shit is funny as hell. And you know they're not gonna have like scientists used to believe that Carnotaurus was the only predator in South America and thought that he used his horns to disembowel Argentinosaurus. Now this seems laughable when you think about the size of that animal compared to him, but they really thought that for a few years. Like, that was a thing. It really was. Also, scientists didn't have the arm bones of the thing, so they gave him traditional looking claws. It looked a lot better back then, actually. Now they think they found the full skeleton, and if that's what his arms really looks like, holy shit, does he look retarded, huh? When you got that boar douchebag trying to explain, that's the kind of paleontologist I have an issue with. That they somehow think that they're defeating, or that their most important role in life is to defeat religion. Like, it's not. It's a misunderstanding of what religion does. Like, I guess if you really want to do a snotty answer about what religion really is, from an atheist standpoint, that's an accurate portrayal of what it really is, then I would say that it is a code on how to live your life based on a boogeyman that's going to get you if you don't. Either while you're alive or most likely after you die, because there's a belief in some sort of immortality event in all faiths almost. And if you fuck up, you will pay the consequences. They all pretty much have that. That's why I'm like, I don't see why you're going out of your... Okay, maybe there was a fight here. Did you guys go and kick some raptors' asses? Oh, maybe you did. Yeah. Don't know what raptors are doing inside. Get out of my face. That's the one you don't want to mess with. Alley McSaurus. No, because it said I killed them, though. It would say if they killed them. So was the fence that got them. Maybe they just rearranged for something else. But yeah, a great example is there's a channel on YouTube, some guy referring to himself as the Explainer, which I already think is just super shitty. Why don't you just call yourself Mr. Answers? Mr. Always Right. And every damn interpretation he has of some dinosaur is always that shitbag kind of, well, they used to think this, but actually, and yeah, their interpretation of Carnotaurus is like, if you that's what you think it is, I'm out, dude. You are the kind of guys that are just making it boring. He looked like a giant sausage. It's kind of like if you had Jurassic Park toys as a kid, like the original series, that one or Lost World, well, you had the big ones. They were pretty weighty little rubber or plastic toys, whatever they were. But point is, hey, that's what we came here for. Thank you for doing your job. See, I think the higher level ones lay more eggs. Unlike you, twerp, do your job. Anyways, point is that if you had those toys, you kind of realize that the stance doesn't work that good unless the tail's got a lot more weight in it. So they're either fatter than you think, or something else. At least some species on the bipedal ones. But I don't know why that bothers them so much. It bothers them if you believe in anything else. So I don't know why it worries them one way or the other. Just one of these myriad of things that doesn't need to be on here can go. Holy shit. Why is charcoal on there? But because of that viewpoint, it seems to extend to everything else, to where, like I said, they have this almost mirthless view on these things and take all the fun and wonder out of it. Out of everything, honestly. I hope you black out. That'd be funny if you did. Is that them breathing? You know what? I don't want them. Fuck you. Yeah, let's go get him. That's gonna be annoying. What is this? Oh. Yeah, it's a seemingly just mirthless way of talking about them, and just still the whole, in your face, and oh god, like their whole why his arms were that retarded looking on Carnotaurus, and just dudes over there salivating over trying to turn Dimetrodon into a rat. Like, oh god, dude. I find them almost basically as mirthless as the religious people who only read it in the most literal, hardcore interpretation. Not that there's many of them, but will still make their own excuses for some weird stuff in a certain religious text, Like, they strike me as those people. In fact, they really strike me as the same person. That's why I think they're both so vehement about recruitment. I just feel that they're in the wrong country for it. Like, especially coming on, what, 30 years after the Cold War, it's just, no. Like, do you know that we didn't originally have, in God we trust in our stuff? Yes. Do you know why we put it on there? Yeah, because we were fighting the commies. That's right. The same people who'll be mad about the Trump thing with Russia, and you're like, okay, so then you guys weren't on board to fight the commies back then. Why we got to fight them now then? I don't get it. Make up your mind. Well, it's because the Republicans in charge. Okay, but when a Republican's in charge and they wanted to fight the Russians in, like, the 80s, you weren't on board with that? Well, that's different. That was Reagan. We didn't like it. Wait, shut up. I don't know what happened, by the way, but at some point, I will admit the liberal side just accepted that Reagan was God, too, and just moved on from that. All while still saying that the 80s was some evil time with tons of excess. Which I don't know what they're referring to. Again, I was too young for that. As far as, like, being able to see what excess they're referring to. It's kind of like the amount of movies that slam consumerism. Like, what's that about? Consumerism's bad. Well, I get it if you're Charlie Brown talking about Christmas. Otherwise, what's actually bad about it? Like, I guess they don't realize that. Well, I sit there, for example, and hear that somebody like Louis Vuitton, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard this rumor that Louis Vuitton's going to intentionally start pricing some of their things a little bit more so to make sure that ghetto people can't buy their shit anymore because they're tired of. I guess they don't want to go down the path of Cristal and Burberry and stuff that was ruined by rappers or Cadillac. They want to stay elitist European brand, and if they have to price themselves away from minorities, then they'll do it. Which I guess more power to them. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. But my point is just that competitive nature in men and women to flash their wealth, even when they're in the ghetto, is still there, and that's not consumerism. It's just a way of showing what you are. It was always there. Like, I honestly think the people who are super wealthy and powerful, if we were back in a time when it was back to killing and fighting, we'd be some of the most murderous people around. We're here to win. And that's what it's all about. At least on the male side, which is, winning equals women, equals kids, blah, blah, blah. I don't really get the female display of wealth. I know it's like some sort of weird female hierarchy thing. I don't know what that's really about or understand it. I'm sure I should go read a psychology paper on it. They would explain it better. Because I don't understand how their power dynamics really work. Like, I get it within your own family, I guess, with women, because that seems to be how the female hierarchy goes, but I don't really understand, like, why women have to go out there and flash their wealth. For example, like I've always said, some chick out there, even like my mom back in the day, just itching to have a sports car. I never understood why they needed a damn sports car. Like, these were mainly to attract women. Why do you need one? Like, y'all aren't good drivers as a whole. Not all, but most. That ain't even fair. But they're not speed demons, so why do they need a fast vehicle? And they don't typically work jobs where they're going to be able to afford that ticket, so I don't get the desire to have it. Other than just displays of wealth. I've never understood that one. Maybe someone can tell me. I don't know. Maybe it's yeah, I actually have no idea what it's about. But I find that on the male side, and that unless you grew up really ghetto, you don't care even if you got the money. Well, you better not mess with my guys, Gator. I never got it. The pointless speed of a vehicle that you can't take to that level, or it was probably more fun back in our parents' era when tickets were low, cars were cheap. Nowadays, I just view it as wildly irresponsible. Like, yeah, go get a ticket. Go get in a wreck. Go get into an accident. Shoot. Shit's insanely expensive. boys, you best whoop his ass if he comes out there to you. There, I'll give you that. Do not take no shit off a fucking gator. I am interested in Monster Chops now that you can ride him. I think that's so cool. I get why you couldn't ride Dimitrodon. I didn't get why you couldn't ride Monster Chops. I mean, I am really interested in them now. How do you have to get one of those jackass birds either? Oh, yeah. Hey, that reminds me. I gotta get me one of them. That's what we came out here for, isn't it? Where'd he go? Stop moving, you lunkhead. You know what? I don't know what you are. You're getting picked up by me. Oh God. I appreciate the sentiment, Allosaur. See how much work I had to go through when I was looking for an Ichthyornis earlier? I do not care on the Oviraptor. I just need an Oviraptor. I just need a female Oviraptor. I think. Well, hang on, let me go look. That would probably be the wiser decision. You always were my favorite predator. Come here. Alright. Oh yeah, Oviraptor. What are you? You guy, you girl, what? You're a guy. I was right, we need a girl. Right, bye. I'd like to get one of those Hesperonuses. Duck's always so obnoxious. Watch this be like an insanely high level mill. Nope. It's a dirtbag loser. He's probably on dino welfare. Dino welfare! T-Rex has to do all the hunting and give it to lazy ass Spinosaur over there watching the NBA finals. I don't like the Golden State Warriors, they're ruining the game. It should be all about dunking. Yeah, I feel like Microraptor made a huge mistake in that fight. Like an unforgivably bad mistake. Like one that you're probably not going to come back from. The game knows what I'm looking for now. That could be a fast T-Rex loss. Is that a white or is that a blue? That's a blue. Hello. Yet another Stegosaur saddle. Jesus, look at how many raptors there are out here. I'd leave me be, Raptor. Especially with what you got waiting for you right there. Oh. Well, I guess somebody kicked his ass. I'm in. Still no Oviraptor. Not a muscle chops though. Let's see. Hmm. Well, this is interesting. You know, if it wasn't for the rocks that you couldn't build on, this would be a good place for a base. Because it's actually one of the tamest spots around. Nothing wildly dangerous coming after you. Ah, I take that back though. Even Sarkos are pretty nasty now. Oh god. I don't want none of that. Not without a shot. Well, I got a shotgun, but not without an ability to shoot it. Way too many purple guys. It's ridiculous. Seen one Oviraptor in all this time. Oh well. Ow. Ow. What, I hand feed you to a T-Rex or that? Yeah, you shouldn't actually expect patterns, should you? You should expect random lines still. Because if you can sneak so many things past an animal that look nothing like camouflage, then it only stands reason that they should be able to evolve non-pattern looking camouflage. Holy shit. Right outside the house like that, huh? Here, have a snake. Well, hand fed him to a Rex, like I said it would. Oh, yeah. The one they tried to animate, the one they didn't try on. I'll leave it at that for now. Interesting times, huh?